What is going on YouTube? It's Brendan from Market Makers. Guys, welcome to the show. If you've been a long-time subscriber, you know macro speaking, we've been nailing the direction of the market. This is the easiest market cycle I've ever traded in my life. Easy in the macro directional sense. Trading is always difficult, of course. But guys, we need to talk about what's happening. This title of the video is Phase 2 of the Economic Collapse. The reason I'm making this video is because you know, if you've been watching my videos, I said that first sell-off, that first leg down, was due to inflation. Obviously, we just had record high inflation print again, and I do expect that to peter off some, to potentially roll over some, but that's not the point. The point is we will still have high inflation. That's what the killer is that cumulative effect. As one of the YouTube guys mentioned, or one of the YouTube viewers that commented on my last video mentioned, it's like taking small doses of poison, and then it just cumulatively builds up in your body and eventually kills you, okay? That's what high inflation does. Phase 2 is what I've been talking about now for the last couple of weeks, is the earnings revisions that are going to come in. And that happened today. The banks reported today. JP Morgan didn't just miss earnings estimates, they missed by 28%. The markets are all red today. I want to cover for you exactly where these markets will rally, briefly go over the equities. We're going to look at Bitcoin as well and show you what the impact is going to be. The rest of this month, we will have earnings coming in every single day from a variety of companies. And what we really need to pay attention to for the crypto space is, of course, the tech sector. Now, guys, why do I say this was an easy prediction? Because once again, if you study market cycles, which most people do not, 80% of YouTube doesn't understand market cycles, 95%, and I know some of you are probably thinking 100%, on TV, on the mainstream media, don't understand market cycles. There are people that do. These are the people I've chosen to study and follow for the last 20 years. You hear me say this over and over again. Jeremy Grantham, Ray Dalio, Peter Schiff, knew this was coming. These are all guys that made millions of dollars. Michael Burry, they made a movie about him. He's been predicting this crash as well. The big knock on a lot of these people is they're early, right? They get into it a year early, couple years early. But this is important to understand. These things take time to unwind, and none of them are technical analysts. They don't study the charts to this degree that we do on this channel. All I do, guys, is stand on the shoulders of giants. I don't reinvent the wheel. Dow, Gann, Wyckoff, they understood how markets move. They understood the movements in these marketplaces, the money flow in these marketplaces, and key retracement levels to always look out for. So this is what I do. This is how I marry my actual trading, is by studying the greats, the guys who basically invented the concept of TA and who made millions and tens of millions of dollars in today's money trading in this fashion. So that's what we do on this channel. I try to bring you the best education and macro views and micro views possible. So let's talk about what's happening. Well, today on CNBC, guys, Jim Cramer, longtime CNBC host, who of course, you know, pumped up subprime. They even show a clip of him in the Big Short, the Michael Burry movie, pumping up subprime, talking about how much he loves it. Well, he's been super bullish. He's been perma-bull this whole descent. And the rationale is it's not this bad. Over and over again, the head of Morgan Stanley, the CEO of Morgan Stanley said, this is not 2008. Okay, this is what everybody keeps saying. This is not 2008. This is not a great financial crisis. This is not an equities bubble as the markets keep declining. This is what happens over and over in bubbles, and a lot of people can't wrap their heads around this. This is why they make movies about the people that make millions and billions of dollars trading these bubbles, because most people don't see it. Most people have a bullish bias, especially if you own something. It is human nature, and half of trading is human psychology and sentiment. It is human nature to want the asset that you own to go up. You don't want to look at the downside, and most people don't study market cycles. But let's explain exactly where we are now, because on TV, now the pivot is blaming the analysts. Well, why haven't the analysts revised their earnings yet? Why haven't they done that? And that's this phase 2, guys. Analysts will begin to revise earnings. It started happening today. You're going to see the markets come down more. We can always have rallies. You always have bear market rallies. 47 of the 50 biggest up days in stock market history occur in bear markets because of the volatility. The volatility today versus a year ago is double what it was a year ago. So you're going to have increased volatility as everything starts to come down. Let's look at this and let's talk about some targets really quickly, and then we're going to go to crypto. Okay, so on the weekly here, on the S&P, the weekly, where could the biggest rally come from? Okay, from a TA perspective, you see price here, the weekly 200 and 233, about 6.25% away. This is where I would expect a big rally to potentially form, that big bear market rally, which will turn into a big bull trap and convince everybody that, see, told you, the markets are done, recession's not our base case. As you guys know, I do believe we are trading in a recession, and this rally will peter out after a large movement, most likely, in my mind, just right now, this is just an educated guess, terminating at the 45 angle from your all-time high, okay? Obviously, when we have candles, we can take fib wave projections and things like that, so we'll be trading this along the way. Weekly view, looking at the macro direction, guys. Could we hold here and go up? Of course we can. I told you this is earnings, and this is from past quarter, okay? This is quarter two. So some of these companies may have strong earnings. Taiwan Semiconductor had strong earnings today. However, the banks failed. So you're going to see a mixed bag. So you could see the market try to hold on to form some type of rally here. But the key thing is these are all rallies to fade. We will be studying the volume divergence on this channel, and I will give you guys a heads up with my opinion, okay? So this is where I expect that big rally to form after another 6% down. If it does slip below the 200 and 233 in a weekly, like the Russell, like Bitcoin, that I'm looking down here at the 45 angle coming from the pandemic lows. This is roughly that 3,000 number you keep hearing analysts talk about. Oh, we could go down to 3,000, but that's really bearish. We could go down to 3,000 and then get that kick up for your rally. Okay, that's the S&P. Let's go ahead and look at the daily. The daily, what we're tracking on the daily on the S&P, guys, is, of course, this beautiful giant double top, okay? We keep coming down, testing this neckline, as you can see, wicking down, getting demand being bought back up. So we're going to track this, because if this neckline breaks, and really for me, it's this one fib at 37.10, you start getting candle closes down here, you're going to sweep these lows and come down to the 35.80. If you lose that, you're coming down further to 33.71, okay? So watching this macro pattern, as you can see, we're getting some demand in here, so we'll see if this can hold up as earnings continue to roll out. And let's jump over to NASDAQ. Looking at NASDAQ on the weekly, same exact concept, guys. You see the weekly candles. I'm looking at the weekly 200, 233, another 6.73% move roughly to come down to start that big bear market rally if it doesn't start from where it's at now. And if it loses that, then you're coming down to this 45 angle, which for the NASDAQ is right in the low 10,000s, 10,207, 10,000. This is an ascending line, so wherever it lands on this area, okay? That's what we're watching here, and as you see, the markets continually decline. The first leg, the big bear rally will fail, you will fade it, and it will come down for that second leg, okay? And just to do a quick recap, I've told you this, guys, many times before. The previous bubbles, great financial crisis, the S&P went down 50%. .com, the NASDAQ went down 82%. The S&P went down 50%. Both of these was with the Fed stepping in. So if you just look at this from the broader market perspective of where you come down from your all-time high, if you just repeat history that the S&P has done twice, okay? 50% will get you all the way down. Let's get down this way. I can't even pull it on the screen. And let's look at where those pandemic lows are. This is 49%. There's your pandemic lows. If you've been watching this channel, I've been saying for months, you can go watch my bubble videos I put out there months ago. All of these markets will revisit their pandemic lows, okay, in my opinion. And this is I'm not going to say best case scenario, but there is a chance when you have these types of drops, just like in .com, just like in the great financial crisis, you get a financial crisis. And if something breaks in the market, you're going deeper. And my prediction for that for the S&P would be 66% or 61.8%. I'm using a Fibonacci number for 61.8 for a retracement, and I'll be using Dow's 66% for a retracement level. Okay, so somewhere in that low to mid 60s if you kept continuing to fall. Now let's go ahead and look at the Russell really quickly, and then we're going to flip over to Bitcoin, guys. So Russell on the weekly, just like Bitcoin, this is why it's important to track the Russell below the 200, 233. If these other markets don't rally from where they're at, if these earnings continue to come in negative, and I don't know what their earnings are, nobody does. That's why the market moves when they come out, okay? There's estimates for their earnings. So if this does continue, then you're going to see the Russell either bounce off this Gann line or come visit that 45 angle, which is anywhere between a 9 and 11% move further down. And most likely, I would anticipate Bitcoin would pretty much track to the Russell as well, because they made their all-time high within 48 hours of each other, and they're both in the exact same location below the 200, 233 on the weekly. Looking at the Russell on the daily, this is a very clean double top. You can see the neckline very clearly here, as well as we have Wyckoff very clearly defined here, and we are just hitting that 382. You see that at 382 at 1686 for our neckline. And guys, if you want to trade these markets, the equities markets, commodities markets, definitely download SimpleFX. They are our sponsor. Their link is in the video description. Check out that platform. I think you will absolutely love it. The tutorial for how to use the platform also in the video description, and up to a $5,000 bonus based on your deposit, and that is instant. So check them out. And let's go ahead and jump over to, let's see, that's it here. Let's go jump over to Bitcoin. I want to show you guys Bitcoin. And of course, guys, you want to trade Bitcoin, check out BITGET. BITGET top 5 exchange by volume. This is a fantastic exchange. Link in the video description. Our first and longest time sponsor. Lots of people, by the way, I wanted to say thank you. A lot of people have been sending gifts, I guess, through YouTube. Sorry, I did not see that before. I am new to YouTube a year ago, guys, so I did not see that. I wanted to say thank you, but I also wanted to say you don't have to send gifts. I want you guys to help yourself, okay? If you enjoy this material, consider supporting us by using one of our platforms, one of our sponsor platforms, or join our room. Spend your money that way. The join button underneath here, you can come join with 11,000 people on the Discord, or check out the Telegram if you don't have time for that and you just want trade signals. But I really do appreciate that, guys. Very generous. And let's look at the weekly here on Bitcoin. So what I went ahead and did by popular request, people are asking about Wyckoff on the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, you can see my Gann price pulse pattern, right? So we have this wave, and people keep asking me, when is this wave happening? Well, again, I've responded to many people in the YouTube comments. I try to engage with all of you. This wave, I'm not married to the timing, okay? I'm married to the movements. The movements have been bang on. But the timing, I base this off of fib time. I'm working on Gann time cycles for this, but July 25th is when I have this coming up. Now, that would require the markets to rally, but where would that rally come from? I just showed you on the S&P and the NASDAQ, bouncing off the 200, 233 in a weekly. That would pull Bitcoin up. And again, we will take a fib wave projection, tighten this up once we start getting upward momentum. But you can clearly see here in Wyckoff, guys, this is a distribution box. I colored it red for you. There's your buying climax candle. Okay, this is a weekly view. So this is the whole bull run here. And then here's your automatic reaction. You have down thrust here, basically a spring. You come up, there's your cup, guys. You see your cup on the weekly time frame. You come up, this is reaccumulation, also called a backup, and you spike up, get an up thrust outside your Wyckoff range, sign a weakness, you throw this ABC, right? Another three market movement here, a 3 market price movement. You see 3 repeat over and over again. You guys have heard me talk about this. ABC corrections, 3 candlestick reversal patterns, very, very key number in the marketplace, part of the Gann methodology of trading. And of course, we come up, get this spike up, and then fall out, and now we have our down thrust, and then we've exited the Wyckoff trading range. Is this the selling climax candle here on the weekly that will allow us to at least spike up, try to base, and hit one of these targets, which seems so far away right now? Again, this is based off a fib wave projection: 32,923, 37,667, and 42,411. The last two seem really difficult, maybe impossible at this point. I have my daily, I have my market top for Bitcoin basically at the daily 200, 233, which will probably be closer to this 32,933, which would be a great movement up from where we are right now. If you measure these, because people get obsessed with numbers and price targets of where things can get hit, what you're doing as a trader, you're looking at how much of that's a 57% move. It's a huge move, guys. Any amount of leverage, it's a lot of money. This is why it's important to pay attention and trade these markets. Looking here on a weekly in a narrow view here, a zoomed in view, you can see we're just stacking candles. I know this is boring in the marketplace, guys, and I do appreciate those of you that share these videos out with your friends and family. I hope this is a video you enjoy and you can share this out as well, because I want people to be aware of these macro market movements. And you can see we're up against resistance here, basically butting our head up against that 20,933, 20,708 on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the closer time frames here. Let me go ahead and show you how I got these targets here. So this is the dissension pattern. You can see the Wyckoff once again in red, and you can see our double top, right? This is a double top we're watching. Now you can see what happens in double tops. A lot of people who are new to trading, they see the double top. Just going to go ahead and highlight the two peaks. And then what they do is they short right here, right? They're like, all right, double top, it's falling down, and then you expect it to go down. But this is also an area of support. When you utilize that fib wave projection from this peak to the low to the next peak, you can see your neckline really is that one fib at 19,227. You did wick below it, no candle closes on the daily, and look what you did. You got it as support. So this probably stopped out a lot of people trying to short this double top, and now you got a reversal going on. You have a movement up towards the upside. And we're going to see if this has any legs. Bitcoin is moving up as the markets are going down today. But again, the market's tech hasn't really reported any earnings yet. The big tech companies are more towards, I think, the middle, or I guess towards the end of the month. I have to look at the calendar. Maybe I'll show that next video. So this is where Bitcoin's coming back now. So it's sprung back up off of here, trying to hold this range. Again, this is the top of your Wyckoff. You keep making these cup type patterns coming up, but you're not able to hold above here. So we got to see if we can get above this and hold this, okay? Let's go ahead and look at let's get a fib wave projection for the upside, because this is downside. Let's go ahead and get an upside projection on the daily and just see what we're looking at for resistance, okay? So we'll take a fib wave, guys, and we're going to go ahead and come down to this swing low here from the middle of the two peaks up to that swing high. And let's assume this is our current swing low. You can see the 0.5 is right on the top of that Wyckoff range, 20,835, Bitcoin at 20,795. So what you're really looking at here, the way I utilize fibs and Wyckoff, remember Wyckoff tracks money flowing through the market. It has to complete certain steps. You got your cup, right? You bounced off support of your double top. You basically got to get above that 0.5 at 20,835. Most likely will hit that 618 and most likely try to come back down and hold a base, just like you do here, okay? But the base fell, it capitulated. You could come up even higher and get above the 618, but you need to hold the 618 or the 0.5. The point being, you got to stay on top of your Wyckoff trading range. If you do not, you fall back in and you got to start the process over again. So this is what we're looking for Bitcoin to do. Flip 20,835, get on top of 618, 21,294, and then you can move up and start looking at these higher numbers, 22,779 at the one fib. If you can hold 618 and move beyond it, that is considered a reversal, okay? A reversal with a bias to continue up. Let's go ahead and look at the 8-hour with Ichi, of course, in the cloud. Guys, getting close to that 16th. Here's our 16th date right here in my crosshairs. I told you, if Bitcoin can keep making progress, watch July 16th, see if it can get out on top of Wyckoff here in the 8-hour. Remember, on the 8-hour, and we're going to look at it on the 4-hour, rejected already at the 1618 at 22,439. Here, on Wyckoff with the fibs, it's the one fib at 21,032. Got to get above it, got a base, make a base, make most likely a cup type pattern, guys, and not a double top, okay? You don't want to make a bearish structure and then you want to propel yourself upward. Let's look at this on the 4-hour time frame, because 4 hours is very important, as you guys know. Looking at the 4 hours, same exact fib layout, okay? 1618. Look at your 200, where you're getting to on your 4 hour. Remember, this is, I told you, you have to watch the 200. The 200 is now beneath your one fib at 21,032. Price is moving up to meet the 200. There's a Gann fan resistance there, the one fib resistance, and the 200. Now, Bitcoin can stay bullish. I wouldn't have a problem here with Bitcoin flipping this and then coming up at that 1618 at 22,439. Bitcoin showed us it can do this, and the 233 is also right there. So you could have that same situation we had in the NASDAQ a couple days ago, where you end up rolling, making some type of shape, most likely a double top in between the 200 233, just like the NASDAQ did, and then falling back down through this, what will be a very thin support cloud area. Something to watch, guys. Unless these earnings start coming out and they are very strong, I would anticipate further market declines. You saw what we're looking at in the weekly time frames. Bitcoin can move independently like this, but tech hasn't reported. If the Russell starts falling and the NASDAQ start falling, those are the two you have to watch the closest for relationship to crypto. We've done this many times in this channel, looking at that relationship, showing you guys the overlay. Pay attention to what's going on, guys. This is the market environment. We will be able to make a lot of money and look for financial freedom. All right, guys, check out the video description for all the goodies. Our website, everything is there as well. Hope to see you guys in the room, and I'll make another video for you tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Take care.